Oi, family, and welcome to another episode of Let's Catch Up with Sherani. I'm here today with my celebrity friend, Miss Jacqueline Nicholas. Jacqueline, say hi to our family.
Oi, family! What's going on, guys? Hi.
Jackie, welcome to my home.
Thank you so much, Sherani. Thank you for inviting me here. It's been a pleasure thus far, you crazy little woman, you.
Jackie, I'm so happy that you're here. And I'm calling you Jackie because you know you're my bona fide.
That's right.
And guys, this morning, Jackie and I, we were catching up, right? And I was saying that sometimes when we're doing this show, I really don't know
Yes.
the people who are here. We speak about the topic that we're going to disseminate, but Jackie and I are bona fide.
Yeah.
Like, Jackie is my friend. Like,
She more crazier than me, you know.
right?
Don't mind her.
Yeah. So, Jackie, you and I worked together for, I think it was about 11 years. No, no, no,
Actually,
no,
no.
no. It wasn't 11. About 9.5 years we worked together.
Maybe
Approximately.
yeah, about that.
Yeah,
About
so
that.
we're bona fide, bona fide. We've been friends for a long time, and today we are speaking, the two of us, about the life and journey of a single mom. And Jackie,
yes.
who are the best people to speak about this topic?
But single
But
mothers
single mothers,
themselves,
right?
of course.
And fellas, I don't want you to be jealous or to say, here they go again, saying, oh, women this and women that, because this is not a show to bash men. We are going to have a part two where we're going to sit with a single dad and we will speak about the life and the journey of a single dad. All right?
Definitely.
So, Jackie, my G.
Girl, let me tell you, being a single mother, what can I say? It has its ups and downs.
It absolutely does.
Its positive. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, the positivity would be about, let's say, 6. Because especially when you're dealing with boys, I don't know some of you, I know people will say boys are easier to take care of than girls. I don't know because I have 2 boys. I've never had a girl. So, but with me on my scale, positivity would be 6, and the rest of it, yes,
Okay.
negative.
So
Going,
my
you know,
scale for being a single mom, and I think it's all about perspective and how you look at it. For me, the scale of 1 to 10, I 8 of it. I would give it 8 out of 10%.
Oh wow.
I enjoyed being a single mother. I like old people because they have wisdom and knowledge. And a long time ago, an old lady told me, she said, when you raise a child in a home with multiple parents, a mom or dad in a nuclear family, or an extended with grandparents, aunts, she said, you're not certain which personality traits the child will pick up.
Yes.
But
that
as a
is so
single
true.
mother, and I want to mold my child, my children into a certain way, maybe to walk circumspect, help them to achieve their dreams and so
Of
forth.
course.
I'm the only influence, right, inside the home.
Yes.
So I actually, after I got over the I need help, which was probably about a month, I really enjoyed being a single mother and looking after my son. But there's that, I said 8 out of 10, there's that 2% when
Yes.
it was hard. So, Jacqueline, so you have 2 boys
Yes.
who are now men.
Very,
That's
very much
something
so.
else. Jackie, when we were hanging and chatting, these kids, my son and your boys were small boys, very small boys, and now they're all men,
Yes.
working.
Everybody's working.
Yes. Thank you, God.
Thank you,
you,
Jesus.
God.
Thank you,
Yes. So it has paid off. All right. So let's start with the negative because we want to leave positivity with you as single parents and even, families, nuclear families. It's not all bad. But let's start with the negative. Tell me about some of your negatives and I'll tell you about some of mine and we'll share it with our family.
Well, then some of my negatives.
Financial. How about financial?
Financial.
How did you manage?
But being the only breadwinner in the household, just me and my 2 boys, let me tell you, it was hard. There are times you have to wake up and wondering how you're going to send this children to school, what you're going to put in the lunch bag, because you want to make it fun, but at the same time, nutritious for them. You understand? And
Yes, I understand.
my mom always said to me, you see the Castries markets, a lot of people don't like go shopping there. But I made it my duty every Saturday morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd literally find myself at the Castries
Every
markets
Saturday morning?
every Saturday morning for the week. You know why? I get my fruits. I met an old lady there who taught me how to make bread.
Hmm.
So that just to lessen on the amount of spending I did at my home, I did a lot of things from scratch.
Wonderful. I love
So
that.
that was just me. Fruits, my children hardly ate, let's say like there's conkles or there's sweet biscuits or whatever. Local juice, local juice, local juice.
Wow.
It was
You,
our thing.
I wish I knew you were going to the market every Saturday morning. I would come with you because I absolutely love the Castries market. The Castries market is one of the reasons that I decided I wanted to stay and reside here in St. Lucia because I thought, oh my God, it's so exciting, it's so cultural, it's so rich.
Yes.
And I loved it. But because my accent, y'all say, is a little different, sometimes the prices was a little different for me when I started speaking. So it would have been great to go with you. I love the Castries market. So you said what you did to assist you financially.
Yes, I did
You
a
went
lot
to
of
the
things.
market. You did
Yes.
a lot of things from scratch.
Scratch.
Now for me with my
And
son, sorry.
sorry, and buying bulk is one of the main things to adapt single mothers. Buying bulk.
Hmm.
Buying in bulk, let me tell you, your flour, your rice, whatever it is, your macaroni. Because you know there is this place in town again, Malakashi's Markets, next to Marketing Board. There's this lady there who sells a lot of stuff, you know?
What's her name?
And
Tell the other
I
single.
don't, I never knew the lady's name. I mean, that's why I'll go there too. Up to like today, I still buy my stuff in bulk.
Right.
Seriously.
For your boys. Okay, so how did I feed my son? Okay, so with my son is a picky eater.
Nah.
And that was a challenge that I had because my son don't eat golden apple, he don't eat mangoes, he don't eat
Oh,
local fruits.
shucks.
My son eats strawberries, imported grapes, imported pears, and these things.
Yeah, he had an
Also,
expensive mouth.
one of the mistakes I made, expensive mouth.
Mouth, yes.
What y'all call it? Jolsu,
No, Joldu.
Joldu.
Yes, Joldu.
Yes. One of the things that I made a mistake with my son, I never gave him what I had. I never gave my son porridge. I never gave him bush tea. I never gave him the things that I grew up on. I gave him after he came off the baby food. I gave him he loved frosted flakes. And this child knew the difference between the brand and the generic
Generic.
ones. So he would, if I would try to buy the generic ones, he wouldn't eat it. There was a time I couldn't afford the generic, I mean the good one, the good brand. So I bought the generic and put it in the old box. And then when I gave him the cornflakes, he
Yes.
took, and then he said, Mom, it's not the right brand. So
Oh my God.
that is the mistake I made. What you did was smart with going to the marketplace, buying fruits, buying in bulk. So, I mean, we were not.
Now, I could not do that all the time, because there are times, especially knowing that I work in the hotel industry, and when occupancy is low, maybe the money's
The service charge was
charge would
low.
not
Me
come
too. We all
in.
working. We're hotel workers.
Let me
Yes.
tell you. So, whatever it is that's there, I could never forget this one time. I'm so sorry, mothers. Hope my son does not see this, but there was one time things were so hard. I asked my neighbor for breadfruit. He gave me a breadfruit.
A breadfruit.
Let me tell you, I'm like, Lord, I don't even have money to buy a pound of bags. I had no lentils home. Jesus, what am I going to do? I said, you know what? Let me ask this Sherani. Wednesday, we'll go on the beach and I'll roast the breadfruit on the beach with a little bit of oil just to make it exciting. Let me tell you, I think that was the best thing I ever did because I had no meat whatsoever. I just said because I
love
live in
that.
Grosley, I live close to the beach. It's just
What
20 minutes.
I love that.
Let me tell you.
I love
I'm
that.
like, let me tell you, Sherani, let's go on the beach. You came from school. When you come from the beach, you will do your homework.
Wow. No.
Let's go on the beach and roast breadfruit. And we're going to have breadfruit and oil while we on the beach. Mommy, breadfruit. I said, don't worry, you'll enjoy it. And the children enjoyed it.
You know something? I wish that my child would have loved the beach part of it, but he would not have eaten the bread.
Because it's roasted. When you put a little bit of
I
oil on
know,
that
but
tastes so good.
I
It
myself,
tastes so good.
I only like breadfruit now as an adult. So now I walk in and asking people, you have a breadfruit or I buying a breadfruit, but I didn't like it as
Let
a
me tell
child,
you.
so it's not something I would have given to him, but he would have enjoyed the beach. So you did. I like the way you did it. I prefer the
Yes.
way you did it. You gave them the local fruits and vegetables. You shopped in bulk and you made things exciting.
Yes.
You went on the beach. You roasted the breadfruit, and to them it
Wonderful.
was a fun day.
Yes,
They
to them it was a
swimming.
fun day, but they
They
don't
come back. They
know.
come for the
They don't
breadfruit.
know. And
But
I'm already thinking of, okay, Lord, what am I going to eat tomorrow? What am I going to do tomorrow? Seriously.
you know, as you said that, I remember at one point with me and my son. I remember one morning looking at my son, and he was sitting and he was eating Fruity Pebbles. It's a
Yes.
very colorful cereal, and he was eating it. And I was hoping that he would leave some because what he left behind is all I had to eat. And when he was finished, I remember there was literally probably two spoonfuls left, and that's what I had for my breakfast for the morning. Now, as you said, we're hotel workers, and most of the hotels that we work in, we get lunch.
Yes.
So I knew even if I would have that two spoonfuls of frosted flake, not I'm sorry, fruity pebbles,
Yes.
then lunchtime I'd be able to get a meal
Meal,
at
because-
work. And that's one of the things I depended on. People always say this and that about the hotel business, but that hotel business saved me a lot as a young single mother because I knew I could eat a full lunch and fill my stomach. The food in the house lasted longer because then I wouldn't eat it. I would leave it for my son, and that is one of the challenges I had. So that's financial. Now, what about education? How did you manage getting the child to school, uniformity,
I
books, school
would-
books? Yeah.
I would say I've been one of the blessed mothers because my family were very close. You understand? So when it came to like
That's nice.
buying the books or whatever I can buy now, I was kind of smart about it. Like by July, the end of July, that's when the book
You
list is already
started
out.
early.
I start like by one, like two textbooks, especially what they really needed, like the maths, the English. I'll buy one
Essentials.
shirt,
Yeah.
one shirt, one pair of pants. Socks and shoes.
I like you.
Will come later on when the school is about to open.
I love that. That's
I
wonderful.
would not, because people like to rush and just buy everything. I mean, I didn't have the money to buy everything, so whatever it is I could have afforded is little by little. We were being paid fortnightly, so every fortnight I'll buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that.
Boy.
And I was fortunate to have my cousin from the States send down stationery, like the notebooks, pens, pencils, everything was, But let me tell you, you have to minimize.
Wow.
And,
Jackie, I love that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Will you finish your
Yes,
point?
yes, I am.
I just, my brain is erupting as you're saying it. I loved you when you came here. I love you even more. I love your story. I love that you are saying that as soon as school would close and you got the book
Yes.
list, you'd buy one shirt, one
One
pant, the essential books, those that are necessary,
Yes.
the math and the English,
Yes.
those core subjects for that core competency. What I did is that those who know me well, I like to get things done. I'm the kind of person, okay, if this is the task, let me get that done. So once I received the book list, I will try and get all the books. I'll try and get all the books. However, by doing so, it would make a few months in the summertime hard for me.
Exactly.
Very hard for me. So what I did was, and people who know me would see the show and say, what? Because people are always saying, Sherani, you always so nicely dressed and this and that. I remember another time, Jackie, because of school books, I had one pair of good shoes, and those shoes I wore to work, to church, to Lime. In St. Kitts we call it Lime.
Yes.
To Lime, those were the only shoes I had. No one knew, and if they knew, they didn't tell me. No one noticed because I wanted to make sure that my son had a
Yes.
proper education. And of course, whatever money was left, I bought food for him
Yes.
because thank God for that hotel business. I was able to get a
It
meal
is.
at work. So that was some hardship, I think. But I like that you did that. You know, and the thing is, people are always saying women don't like women. But if we would do this
This
more
more often,
often and
yes.
sit together and say, hey, I'm a single mom, you're a single mom, how are you coping?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time. Then you would have been able to, maybe not me personally, but you would have, because I was in St.
Mm-hmm.
Kitts. Sweet Sugar City, St. Kitts. Anyways, so you would have been able to say to another mommy,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this is how I'm managing. And then they could say, this is what I'm doing, and learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And also sharing. Because
Exactly.
you might have had the breadfruit and I might have had the backs.
Exactly.
And I want to take a moment to speak about my friend Cheryl Barton in St. Kitts. I have this
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend, Cheryl Barton. At the time, she didn't have children. And I had my son, and she knew because she wasn't a friend I would line with, but she
Mm-hmm.
was a friend I would speak confidently with. I
Mm-hmm.
would tell her, things in confidence. And so she knew my struggles. And I remember a lot of times I would go to her house, and if she had 1 pound of rice, she would cut it in two and she would give me
Yeah.
half. If she had 2 tins of milk in her cupboard, she would give me
Yes.
of the milk. If she had 2 tins of sardine, she would give me one. And as I hear you speak about only the breadfruit, I remember one day I only had chicken in my house,
Mm-hmm.
and she only had rice and other stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And I went and I gave her a bag of chicken, and she gave me some rice. So we both had rice and chicken.
Chicken, yes.
You understand? And I would never forget her for that, because when my son was small, she absolutely assisted me a lot. Yeah, that
Yeah.
financial, that education,
Yes.
raising these children, that was the tough part.
That was the tough part.
Did you get any of where's my daddy? I want my daddy. Uh,
Well, I'll be honest with you. When the father and I broke up at first, he wasn't really paying attention as he was supposed to, and
y'all were
because
young as
he
well. Yeah.
exactly he's still upset with me because we broke up, whatever, 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 blah 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 blah. But eventually he came around, and
Wonderful.
whatever he did for his children up to a day
Wonderful.
like today. Even if my sons are grown and my children piss me off, I could actually say to them, even the father, what, despite the situation he's in, I mean, I will not,
Yes.
yes. But I could actually still make that comment to my 21-year-old and say, boy, don't let me call your father.
So he has great respect for his daddy.
Yes. I guess I can say that. Boy, don't let me call your father.
My son, with that, my son always said, "Mommy, I want a daddy in the house." He always said that to me, "Mommy, I want a
Serious?
daddy in the house." Yeah. So that was a challenge. So at one point, I started getting frustrated. I would say, "Tell God what you want. Tell God what you want," because I had said, "Okay, because at one point after the separation of me and his dad, I had decided, well, I don't want to have any partner. I want to focus on getting educated, because I knew I had to educate myself so I could
Yes.
earn more to give him a better life and a good
Yes.
education. And also, I just wanted to just, calm down
Yes.
and relax. But he kept saying, "Mommy, I want a daddy. Everyone has a daddy." And I was like, "But you have a daddy. Your daddy comes around. You spend time with your dad." And he kept saying, "I want a dad in the house." So that was a challenge for me, because it hurts you as a mommy, because you feel like, okay, so maybe I failed. Maybe I could have done better in the relationship to keep his daddy at home. Where did I go wrong? And so forth. Of course, now he's a grown man.
And he understands.
Just recently he sent me a voice note saying, "Mommy, you've never failed me in the areas that you're supposed to do well for me.
Yes.
I am proud of you as a mom." I sent it to everybody. I was so happy because I know the struggle that I went through. All right, so
Let me tell you, boy, it's a struggle,
yeah, the dad.
especially
They want the
yeah.
dad. They want that dad. No matter what, these children, it is most times it is best for the dad, if
Yes.
not in the home, to co-parent,
Parents. Yes.
properly co-parent, where they're seeing both parents, they're spending time with both
Yes.
parents. Yes.
Because even with because I mean you know that my boys are both national players. Remember when I told
Yeah,
you
no
that my
cricket.
no football.
It's football. When he went away, it was
Trinidad football. He played in
I
Trinidad for
thought it was
2 years. For
cricket.
2 years.
I remember when he went.
Yes. Yeah, we were still at Windjammer
We
then.
were still
Yes.
working,
Yeah.
yes, together.
So that time, this is the time I think that's the time he really, really needed his father because he was so excited and that when he traveled to Florida first, can I tell you, my children has actually traveled more than I have ever. I've only been to Barbados and Martinique. My children, both my kids have traveled, let me tell you, places I
Jackie,
wish to go.
I am ashamed to tell people how much my child has traveled everywhere.
I'm not the one
He's
sponsoring
traveled
because
a
of
lot,
football.
yeah.
Football gave him that
Yeah.
experience. When he went to Florida and he said to me when he's on the airport, Monsieur, Daddy's not even there, to actually see me off.
Aww.
He wanted his father to be there.
Yes, they want that daddy
You
around.
understand?
Yes.
When he was in Trinidad, it's like, boy, you
Daddy.
wish, his father could
And for
come
yeah, and
across to
yeah,
see him
and for
play one of
yes,
those
cause
games.
for sports,
Yes.
right? They want the guys.
Because they got that skill from their father. Their father is a
Yo,
very
Jackie,
good
I know you
footballer.
can't play no football.
So,
If you play with balls, you can't play no football. Okay. Right. So let's take your mind from the gutter. So all right. So okay. So Jackie, the last thing I'm gonna say about the negatives of being a single mom is that it's important that these daddies, even if they're not in the house, really to spend some time to
it is
co-parent. You know,
important.
women allow them.
It's very
No matter
important,
what is
yes.
going on with you and the guy, allow them because these are their children, and these children they need their fathers. What the guys bring to their lives, the good daddies. We can't do it. We could have all the money, this, that. We cannot do it. The
On our
daddy
own,
role
no.
is very important. So let's switch to the positives. I want to talk about the
Yes.
positives because now our boys are grown. We've spoke about having a little bit of money,
Yes,
having no meat
yes.
with the breadfruit, having to go down the market every Saturday, watching the children eat and nothing to
Yes.
eat, the children saying they want their daddies. Now they're grown. Let's talk about that. Tell me about your experience with these two nice, handsome boys you have.
Let me tell you, Sherani, I'm like, Lord, did I do something right in my life, in my past life? Because really and truly, when you're growing up when you have boys growing up in the house, a lot of boys tend to grow the really narrow road. They very, they get easily influenced by the wrong characters out there on the streets. My sons, I mean, yes, they have the little, things about them, which is okay. I can deal with that.
We're not perfect.
We're not
Right.
perfect, but I absolutely can say my children has never been arrested to say fighting or anything of the sort.
Wonderful.
I mean, God has blessed me.
God,
Both
we give
my
you
sons,
praise.
especially the last one. I thought the last one would have been like maybe very family, carefree in the sense like, after he leaves school, he'll be one of those that will be interested in wanting,
That's
to
what you
work.
thought,
That's what
right?
I thought. I will share that little piece of information. My boss, who I worked with at Smuggler's Cove when I was the water sports desk attendant, Nelly Xavier, that is you. He and I, same month, same date, same year, our birth dates.
Your twin, right? Your twin.
Very much so.
Yes.
We've always had that camaraderie. Was it last? No, not last year. Year before, Nelly called me up. Jax, how old is your last? Because I know the first one is busy doing his stuff already, whatever. How old is the last? I said, well then, he's not really of age, in case you're looking for him for a job. Tell him, it doesn't matter. He'll be 18 soon, it's okay. Tell him, come and see me. I said, Yael, Nelly wants to see you. I mean, you don't know him, but go down to Bay Gardens. Nelly wants to see you down there. It was around 9 o'clock, he went down there. 10 o'clock, I'm not seeing my child. 11 o'clock, I'm not seeing my child.
The
I said,
child
what's
working?
going on? So I'm calling Nelly. Nelly's not picking up his phone. So I'm calling one of the boys down the road. Is Yael around the area? No, Mama, we have not seen Yael. So finally, Nelly called me back. I said, Nelly, you all finished with Yael already? She said, Yael on the boat spotting for one of the boat captains. The child decided, you consider I could start today? If you want, I'll just put that whatever you have there, I'll put it on and I'll start today. I have nothing
Wonderful.
doing home.
Wow.
That's what my son said to the man. And that was it.
I'm
And
so
up to that
happy.
today, that he's there.
I'm so
and
happy
he's
for you. I'm
growing.
so happy for you.
Because I was surprised. I'm like, what? You want to work?
Jackie, you know that you and I had times you and I spoke privately and we cried about situations when we had
Yes.
these children small. You remember?
Oh God, let me tell you.
You and I sat together
thought
in a
I would have
corner.
had.
I remember.
But
Wow.
my boys, they're responsible. They go getters. You know, they're all that and more. Just like your son, Sherani. Oh my God. Blessed.
I'm really proud of you, Jackie, as a mommy. I'm proud of the men that your boys have become. I give God praise because every good thing comes from God.
Yes.
With me, I have to say that I'm so blessed. My son is a wonderful, wonderful young man. He looks like Jesus. He's handsome. He's articulate.
Love that.
He loves his mom. He has his little job. Sometimes I come home and the cupboard pack of food. I'm like, LJ, you use your money. You bought food. He's like, oh yes, mom. I thought I'd just stock the cupboard.
Yes.
You know, I remember one day I was like, boy, I'm feeling sick, but we don't have enough money to go doctor. He's like, no, mommy, here, take my card, go doctor. Cried. I cried. And between me and you, ain't I didn't have any money to go doctor. You know, women always have a little money.
Yes.
There.
Exactly.
But I didn't want to use it. And I said, why? And he said, mommy, here. Just to hear this young man who I struggled with. So, mommy, here's my card. Go to the doctor. I bawl like a child. I think I called a few people and said, you know what just happened? You know, so that's the wonderful thing. When you raise these children well, Jackie, when we speak to them as a child and also speak to them as adults, teach them about life, make sure they go to church, tell them about God.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I feel hot too. You know, this is not my real hair. You know, so it's just wonderful. And I'm proud of what you've done. I'm proud of what I've done. We had some difficulty, but
family, we may look like two crazy women, but let me tell you, we've been blessed.
We are two crazy women, favored. You know what I love in the house? I don't have to get this. Sometimes my son will be like, Mommy, you need a hug? I come home and I'll be drained or I had a bad day at work. Or whatever, or something. He reads me well. If I'm sad, he'll be like, Mommy, come, you need a hug? And he'd give me a hug. You know, sometimes I'll pass and I'll say something silly to him, like, you're ugly. And he will say, yeah, I look like my mama. Like, he'd make jokes, you know.
But, you know, one thing I would like to leave.
Yes.
One thing I would like to leave to
our family
women
and our family, yes.
And the strong men out there who are family go-getters too. Please try your best not to speak negative about your children, even when they try to piss you off. Don't speak negative. The tongue is very strong.
Speak faith, positivity
into their lives. Even when you want to choke the living hell out of them.
I've never gotten
Say, no, Lord. Control thy thoughts, control thy tongue, control thy anger with your children, people.
Amen.
Please. And it goes a long way. Because when you speak negative about your kids will bring you negativity.
Well, Jackie, I love the last point that you left with our family. I love it. Speak positive into your children's life. Because there's death and life in the power of the tongue. Jackie, thank you for joining me on this episode of Let's Catch Up with Sherani. I'm so happy that you came. Family, thank you for joining us on another episode of Let's Catch Up with Sherani. We'll see you again real soon.
Bye. Family. Baby.